Every single year, we throw away a mountain of food. It's a disgrace. The latest reports say we could be losing a staggering 540 billion globally by 2026 just from food waste. That is not just a shame, it's a financial catastrophe waiting to happen. A massive part of this problem is the cold chain. It's this ridiculous, complicated system of fridges. It's this ridiculous, complicated system of freezers. It's this ridiculous, complicated system of cooled trucks, all burning energy like there's no tomorrow. It's expensive, it's inefficient, and it's pumping out greenhouse gases that are choking the planet. We are literally paying a fortune to slowly watch our beautiful produce die. It's time to find a better way, a smarter way. The cold chain is a ticking time bomb. It relies on a constant, unbroken flow of electricity and diesel fuel. And what happens when that chain breaks? Disaster. You get a whole truckload of perfect produce turning into a pile of rotten garbage. We need an innovation, a complete game changer that gets us out of this mess. And there's a new technology on the block called cold plasma. Forget everything you know about heat or chemicals. This is different. This is about using physics to keep food fresh, so fresh that scientists are talking about a 90-day strawberry, a strawberry that stays perfect for 3 months at room temperature. So, what is this cold plasma anyway? Don't get scared by the science words. It's simple, really. You have solids, you have liquids, you have gases. Well, plasma is the fourth state of matter. It's basically energized air. Imagine taking normal air and zapping it with a bit of electricity, like a tiny controlled bolt of lightning. This zap creates a cloud of highly reactive little particles. These particles are like a microscopic cleaning crew, but they work at room temperature. That's why it's called cold plasma. The food doesn't get cooked. It doesn't even get warm. This isn't some chemical bath that leaves a disgusting film on your food. No. The process happens in the air. A special device, often a dielectric barrier discharge, or DBD if you want to sound clever, creates these energetic particles from the oxygen and nitrogen already in the air. These particles, called RONs by the scientists, are tiny assassins. They go to work on any bacteria, mold, or viruses sitting on the surface of your fruit or vegetables. They are incredibly effective. And once their job is done, they just turn back into normal, harmless air. No residue, no chemicals, no nonsense. You pass the food through this plasma field for a few seconds or minutes and it's done. The surface is sterilized. Let's be honest with ourselves for a minute. Refrigeration is a crutch. It's not a cure. All it does is slow things down. Cooling your food slows down the growth of microbes, slows the chemical reactions that cause ripening. It's like hitting the slow-motion button on a train wreck. You can see the disaster coming, just a bit more slowly. Your food is still dying in that fridge, just not as fast. And what do we pay for this mediocre result? A fortune. Refrigeration needs a constant, uninterrupted supply of power, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A typical cold storage facility burns through about 25 kilowatt hours of electricity per square foot every single year. Now multiply that by the thousands of cold warehouses all over the world. And don't forget the refrigerated trucks, the reefers, burning extra diesel just to run the cooling unit. All in all, the global cold chain is responsible for something like 4% of all greenhouse gas emissions. We are warming up the planet just to keep a few pallets of lettuce cool. Then you have the refrigerant gases themselves, modern blends still hundreds or thousands of times more potent than carbon dioxide. When these systems leak, and they always do, that gas goes straight into the atmosphere. With governments rightly cracking down on these substances, and with energy prices going through the roof, the entire economic model of the cold chain is standing on very shaky ground. It's a system built for a world that no longer exists. Brute force, dumb, expensive, and dirty. Cold plasma is the opposite. It's targeted. It's precise. It attacks the problem directly without all the collateral damage and wasted energy. It's time we stopped relying on 20th century tech and started embracing a 21st century solution. So how does this energized air actually kill the germs? It's not one single action. It's a full frontal assault on multiple fronts. The reactive particles created in the plasma, the RONs, are like a microscopic special forces team. First, they go for the cell walls. They physically bombard the outer shell of a fungal spore, punching holes in it. It's like breaking down the door. Once the wall is breached, the microbe starts to leak and its structure falls apart. But the attack doesn't stop there. Some particles get inside, wreak havoc, and oxidize proteins and enzymes so they can no longer do their jobs. Imagine someone pouring sand into the engine of your car. It might look fine outside, but it's not going anywhere. And for the final blow, the plasma particles can even damage the microbe's DNA. Scramble the blueprint so even if a microbe survives, it can't multiply. Killing germs is only half the battle. The other enemy of freshness is the food itself. A piece of fruit is a living thing, and its natural instinct is to ripen, get old, decay. The main culprit behind this process is a gas called ethylene. You can't see it or smell it. Ethylene is the chemical signal that tells a banana to turn brown, tells an avocado to go soft, and tells a strawberry to become a sad, mushy mess. To keep food fresh, you have to control the ethylene. Refrigeration only slows its effects, but plasma can actually destroy it. The same reactive oxygen and nitrogen species that kill microbes are fantastic at breaking down ethylene molecules. They react with the ethylene gas in the air around the fruit, turning it into tiny, harmless amounts of carbon dioxide and water vapor. By treating the air in a package or a storage container, you remove the very hormone telling the fruit to age. It's like taking the batteries out of the alarm clock. The fruit just stays in a state of suspended animation, perfectly fresh. Recent studies show the treatment can affect the fruit itself, slowing the enzymes that produce ethylene. It slows the fruit's own ability to create the ripening hormone. This is a double whammy. You're cleaning ethylene from the air and telling the fruit to calm down. The result is incredible. In trials, plasma-treated fruits stay firmer for longer, retain vibrant color, hold on to more nutrients like vitamin C, have better texture and even flavor, less mush, less waste, better quality product for the consumer. Think about the shape of a head of broccoli or a strawberry. They are covered in tiny nooks, crannies, crevices. How are you supposed to clean that properly with a liquid wash? You can't. It's impossible. Water-based sanitizers can't get into all those tight spots, leaving thousands of microscopic hiding places for pathogens, massive weakness on complex surfaces, leafy greens, cantaloupes, raspberries. This is where plasma has a massive advantage. Plasma is a gas. It's energized air. It flows everywhere. It penetrates the tiniest folds and pockets, ensuring the entire surface area gets treated. No hiding places left. More reliable than a chemical bath. Generate plasma inside the final package. Sterilize food and the air right before it ships, cutting recontamination risk. A protective bubble to the consumer's kitchen. Consumers are smarter. They read ingredients. They don't want chemical preservatives or processing aids. Plasma leaves no residue. Reactive particles do the job, then become normal air. Market as physically sterilized, protected by fresh air. No scary chemical names. Forget the fluffy science for a second, and let's talk about the bottom line. The cold plasma market is exploding. Massive double-digit growth for the next decade. That reefer can guzzle up to 25% of a truck's total fuel consumption. 1/4 of your fuel bill just to keep cargo chilly. A single trailer can spew 8 tons of CO2 per year from its reefer unit alone. Now imagine you don't need it, treat at the farm, then ship in a regular dry van. Immediate, enormous fuel savings. Simpler operations, fewer breakdowns, lower risk. It's a win-win-win. Cold warehouses are massive capex and opex drains, insulation, chillers, non-stop power. If more produce stores ambient, footprints shrink or convert to cheaper dry storage. When 20, 30, even 40% of product is trashed pre-sale, that's direct revenue erosion, money you literally throw in a dumpster. Extend shelf life from days to weeks, sell more of what you buy, less shelf spoilage, better inventory flex. Fuel, electricity, waste. These real-world numbers add up to a powerful business case for change. The introduction of a technology. This disruptive doesn't just tweak the old system. It smashes it to bits and creates something new. Cold plasma could completely reorganize the food supply chain. The old model is centralization. Rush from farm to a massive refrigerated warehouse. Plasma enables a decentralized farm gate model. Small, portable units at the farm or packing house. Treat produce within minutes of harvest, locking in peak freshness at the source. Then ship in standard, cheaper vehicles on less time-sensitive routes. This is huge for the first 12 to 24 hours post-harvest, the most vulnerable window. More power and profit back to farmers. Incredible potential for regions with unreliable electricity. Low-power plasma can run off solar microgrids. Modern preservation where cold chains are impossible. Winners and losers. Reefer makers and cold storage builders may see markets shrink. Smart incumbents adapt, integrate plasma modules, launch hybrid lines. First movers offering ambient fresh shipping will capture a huge new market. Retailers gain most. Lower waste, higher quality. Regulation, FDA and EFSA must be convinced. Fund robust, transparent studies, prove safety and no harmful byproducts. Public perception, words like plasma, ionized, radiation can terrify. Marketing must be brilliant. No chemicals, less waste, fresher for longer, or this revolution is dead on arrival. Right, get this through your heads. Cold plasma isn't just some minor improvement. It's not a slightly better fridge. This is a fundamental change in how we keep food fresh. From brute force cooling to elegant, precise physics. Less energy, less waste, cleaner food. New ways of doing business. But it's not going to happen by itself. It requires vision, investment, courage. Leaders must step up. You can either lead this change or be crushed by it. Food waste is a massive hidden liability. Energy costs and regulations aren't going away. The old cold chain is a slow-motion surrender. Leaders in food, logistics, retail, wake up. So here is your action plan. It's simple. No excuses. 1. Start pilot projects now. Don't just read reports. Get your hands dirty. Partner and test plasma on your products. Track shelf life, taste, texture, nutrition. Get your own data. 2. Fund the safety studies. Don't wait. Be proactive. Commission independent world-class studies. Share results. Build trust. 3. Test your logistics. Ship plasma-treated produce in a dry van next to a refrigerated one. Compare costs, fuel, emissions, and final quality. The numbers will speak for themselves. 4. Get your story straight. Explain it simply, honestly, appealingly. Focus on freshness, safety, no chemicals. Ditch scary jargon. 5. Partner up with equipment makers and startups. Integrate plasma into your operations. Help design the future. Cut waste. Slash costs. Create new markets. Do good for the planet. The era beyond the refrigerator isn't sci-fi. It can start today. This idea of a 90-day strawberry isn't just a gimmick. It represents a fundamental shift in how we handle fresh food. It's about moving beyond the fridge, locking in freshness at the source, simply and effectively. Now get to it. Don't be a donkey. Lead the thermodynamic pivot, from thermal management to atomic management, building faster, cheaper, greener supply chains. The $540 billion loss to food waste is the biggest hidden asset on your balance sheet. Those who invest in physics-based preservation today will own the supply chains of tomorrow. Beyond the fridge starts now.